The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Triple H, Stephanie McMahon. Welcome to the show. Hey, come on in.
Oh my gosh, looking so pretty.
Yeah, welcome to the smell of meat.
Yes, meat and potpourri.
Yeah, I know. I don't know which is winning so far. I think the meat is beating the potpourri.
It's an interesting combo. It's there.
It's interesting, all right.
Mr. H, you look very handsome.
Thank you very much.
Look at that.
Yeah, I did well. I did well for myself.
Yeah, you did.
I know, but let me ask you this. Has anyone ever talked to you, Triple H, and said, oh, you're the luckiest guy with that Stephanie?
That people do
No.
all the time. I say it to myself all the time.
Right?
Aww.
We actually just celebrated 15 years yesterday, so
15 years?
Congrats, guys.
thank you.
Have
thank
you
you.
ever had a fight?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, outside the ring.
And do you throw each other around?
Yeah, but the
No.
good thing about our relationship is we were married and divorced on TV before we got together in real life. So we have a dry run at it where we figured it all out.
That's right. Not many people can say that, you know.
true.
I'm getting married next year. Maybe I should do that because I'm scared.
Practice it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of what's going to happen there. Well, look, Stephanie's been here before, and so we sort of know each other online and whatever. At
She's
night,
bragged about it before we came in.
Yeah,
I'm the
I love you,
outsider,
Elvis.
get it.
I do. I talk about you all the time.
I don't blame you because I'm fabulous.
You are. You absolutely are.
But
You told us that in the green room, too.
I know.
You just keep saying it over and over.
just in case someone tries to plant something negative in your mind about me, I'm going to tell you otherwise. Anyway, well, so Stephanie reached out to talk about Evolution, which is going on out at Nassau Coliseum this weekend. And unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town. But I said, please come on our show and talk about it. Here's what I love. One of the many things I love about WWE. Of course, it's great entertainment. It's great storylines. But you're good neighbors. You do fabulous things for many different communities. You're always, you guys in your organization are always the first to help people out because you understand who loves you and you always give love back. And I think that's incredible. Now, Evolution.
And I just have to say thank you. You know, I mean, because that is a huge part of WWE's DNA. Our mission is to put smiles on people's faces all over the world. That's it. It's really simple, whether we do it through our content or we do it by giving back to our communities. And we associate with as many different ways as we can to give back to the community all over the world.
It's an amazing organization. I mean, it's beyond organization.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Like a whole culture.
it's a
It
continent.
is a culture.
it
Yep.
is.
And another thing I must personally thank you for, because I got to take one of the chairs home. And I love, every night I'll open it up and sit down on John Cena's face.
Which he appreciates as well.
And I'm sure he does. I always wear jorts when I'm doing it.
Yes.
But anyway,
That's quite the visual. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd rather envision it. I was worried you were wearing nothing. It was getting weird.
all right, you know what?
Yeah, so moving on.
Evolution. We'll graduate to that one day, I guess. Okay, so Evolution is definitely revolutionary in what you're doing. Explain to us where, we know where it kind of came from, but to tell us why it's so important. This weekend is so important.
Well, it is the first ever all women's pay-per-view live streaming event that WWE has ever had. And, our women went from being secondary, if not more often tertiary type characters. And it was about 3 years ago that our fans actually started a hashtag called Give Divas a Chance. And it trended worldwide for 3 days, specifically calling for more athleticism, better character development, better storylines for our women. And their voices were so loud that at WrestleMania, strategically on our biggest stage, WrestleMania is like our Super Bowl,
You're right.
in front of over 101,000 people at AT&T Stadium, we had Hall of Famer Lita go out and announced the rebranding of the Divas division to the Women's division. She unveiled a new championship belt that was more akin to the men's, but still very feminine, and announced that our women would now be called superstars, same as the men.
Good.
And since that time, our women have been more regularly headlining and main eventing our pay-per-views and live events. We signed Rowdy Ronda Rousey, one of the world's greatest athletes, male or female.
Yeah, we've heard of her.
Yeah, and this past December in Abu Dhabi, for the first time ever, our women were allowed to compete. And during their match, it was a women's championship match with Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. A chant broke out in the arena, men and women chanting, "This is hope."
In Abu Dhabi.
In Abu Dhabi, this is hope. and there were tears in the eyes of little girls in the front row. And that's what this women's evolution is all about. That's how meaningful it is for us to now have this event this Sunday at Nassau Coliseum. It is a true evolution in our business and hopefully representative of change in the world.
So Triple H, from the guy's perspective in the organization, what's the buzz like? Is it all positive? Is it all just yes, yes, yes?
Yeah, they love it. I think, as times were changing just prior to, as Steph talked about, the hashtag coming out of Give Divas a Chance, we'd kind of seen that shift coming, and as you saw it in the world, little bits and pieces of things coming, and we started to train the women differently down in Florida in our performance center, and different levels of athletes were coming in.
And Paul is selling himself short. I mean, he really pushed for this change. He started recruiting elite athletes all over the world, male and female. He started training our women the same as the men and giving them the same opportunity. Sorry to cut you off.
By the way, you should hire her.
Yeah, not that I'm passionate or anything.
You should send him an invoice. Because that's a wonderful
She will
thing.
later, yes. But so I think for the guys, it really, as that opportunity, if they hadn't seen it already, as that opportunity presented itself to the women and they kept knocking it out of the park every single time, you started to see guys. But to me, the true shift is when guys start to watch the women's matches going like, oh man, I got to step up my game.
Yeah, good.
Right? And you clearly saw that shift starting to happen. I watched main event guys sit at NXT takeovers, which are pay-per-views at the time for our NXT brand, sit and watch a women's match go down in the main event, knowing that they had to work the next day at SummerSlam, and come in the back like, oh my, like I'm going to be up all night trying to figure this out.
So you saw the shift happening within the organization.
Without a doubt. And I think that's where it is now, is there's no, with most of the male talent, there's no difference. They're not looking at it going, well, the girl's got a match and then we're up after that or something. Like they're just looking at it, everything on the card doesn't matter. Male, female, doesn't matter. It's all, it's all a big family and everybody works together. WWE is like a big team, but there's competitiveness of who's going to have the match of the night and all that. And
of course,
when they're watching it, it is very much, they're a part of that conversation as well, as much as anybody else. And more often than not, the women are stealing the show.
Well, Paul, Stephanie, I got to tell you, we every day we'll hear from different listeners from different walks of life. We'll have a woman calling in saying she's the only woman on a construction site downtown here in Manhattan, or just, there are many situations like that come up. And but we've been doing this for 20-something years, so the conversation with them is different now than it used to be. It used to be they were there just kind of fighting for what's right, and now the guys are like saying, okay, you're one of us now. And
now the guys have realized if we don't have a woman here, this building turns out terrible. We need somebody here to direct us.
It looks kind of tacky. And, the other day we had 15 female firefighters graduating with this year's class for New York Fire Department. We have more and more women, of course, graduating from the academy at New York City's in our NYPD. And I think it's so important to keep these stories out there. And now that WWE and Evolution's doing this, these stories are important, because one day these stories, we won't tell them anymore, because it'll just be normal everyday life. And that's our goal here, is it not?
That's right. And we have 3 daughters, and they're 12, 10, and 8. And, we want them to know that they have every opportunity that men have. They can be and do anything they want to do. They just have to work hard for it.
Excellent.
No different than anybody else.
Yep.
And that is the truth. And to be honest, now a large part of my life is training these athletes and that system that it all goes down. I'll put it out now. The women are way tougher. Like when we run camps, 3-4 day camps where we're physically exhausting people and trying to get inside their heads to see who the real human being is and see if they're leaders or if they're going to, just try to succeed on their own. We're looking for the emergent leaders and all that. By far, the women will exceed at that. Usually where the guys start to fall apart and it becomes more competitive individually, and they start to break down and they start to complain and things are going wrong, and the women don't say a word. They just gut through it. They're all supportive of each other.
Give birth.
It's true.
I gave birth to a baby elephant. infant, I felt like. So, you know.
I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand.
Okay, we're moving on.
Wait, you watched that? No, there's a pay-per-view. No, wait a second. But I love. I think that with the women that you're working with going beyond, it makes everyone better. It makes the guys better, makes all the other women better, and it's such a fantastic edge. By the way, if you're just turning us on, Triple H, Paul, Stephanie McMahon, they're here from WWE. Evolution's taking place this Sunday. You got to watch it. It's going to be streaming live around the world on the WWE Network. And of course, if you're at Nassau Coliseum, just walk in backwards. Don't even pay. Just walk in.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Tell them I sent you. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about something that we were actually stealing from you the other day on our show, because we really have never had an original idea. If you steal from our show, you've stolen twice, maybe. So we have entrance music. It's so
Okay, all right.
so important to have your music.
I've heard this one before.
Yeah?
Yes.
Time to play the game.
Right. And then, of course, you have...
I'm never gonna be done. Lean on in.
This is mine.
Right. And then, of course, you have my favorite. Don't get mad at me. Don't start hitting on me. Hold on a second.
That's a classic.
It's iconic.
So my question to the room is, if you had WWE entrance music, what would it be?
Oh.
So we started talking about it.
Yeah.
When I'm about to come out to the ring.
I got.
What?
Mine would be ludicrous. Move, bitch.
All right. The kids would love that.
There was no delay on that at all. You went right there.
Right there.
I think I would go with Trina, the baddest bitch.
Baddest
It's
bitch?
a little ratchet.
All
I
right.
like that.
I was going to do a Diana Ross, I'm coming out.
Okay.
There you
Very
go.
intimidating.
Of course you are.
Speaking of, whatever happened to Fandango? Where is he?
He's injured right now.
I miss him.
Yeah, he's injured.
He's the only one with class in that.
He's on the fashion reserve right now.
No. I'm sure wherever he is, he's healing. He's very fashionable. Anyway, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing this Sunday. And but it just goes beyond. It goes just beyond a streaming of an event. It's just the messaging is so important, and the fact that you have 3 girls, I'm sure that motivates you to do the
Every day.
Okay, we have an announcement to make. I was just told this a few moments ago. We have an announcement. The partnership is with Girl Up,
Yes.
an organization and global leadership development initiative, which sounds very, very, very important, but also just explain it in layman's terms. What is Girl Up all about, and how is WWE involved?
So Girl Up is all about empowering and teaching teen girls all around the world leadership skills. You know, it's about building confidence, giving them the skills and the tools that they need to be successful in life, no matter where they're from, no matter what walk of life they come from.
Right.
And WWE is incredibly proud to partner with Girl Up, and we're creating and developing a program together called Sports for a Purpose, because sports and athletics does so much to build confidence, to build, team building. When you look at strategy, when you look at what worked in sports, what didn't work, setting goals, pushing yourself physically and mentally, all of these skills are so important in leadership and in life. And it also just builds community, and that community is what gets us through. So WWE is incredibly proud to be partnering with Girl Up and really developing, this partnership and seeing what we can do to help affect change.
There you have it.
So cool.
I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it that
and this
well.
is an exclusive. We haven't announced this. Yes. So thank you. This is the first time that
wow.
we're.
That's
Yep.
why we only told you a few minutes ago we didn't want you to ruin it.
He would have told everybody hours ago.
Yeah, I know. He has a reputation for that.
I spoil all sorts of stuff.
When you have a golden microphone.
That's true.
Spoils
That
him.
is true. Not everybody has the golden mic.
Okay, so I know after the show, since I didn't have a leg up on this earlier, I'm going to do a search for Girl Up. I'm going to go find out more. I want to find out and find out more about watching this story as it develops with the relationship with WWE. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I got to say one more thing, and then we need your help on something.
Okay.
I hope you're okay with this.
Yeah, and then I have one more thing for you too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so we have 2 more things. If you're counting at home. Evolution, of course, this Sunday night, 7 p.m. East Coast time, Nassau Coliseum, but it's streaming live on the
WWE Network.
On the WWE Network. All right.
And first 30 days are free for new subscribers. So.
What did it used to be? There used to be another special all the time. How much was it to watch the big event? It was
$9.99.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's the network. Yep, $9.99. But you get a lot more than just our pay-per-views. But we completely, changed our business model.
You're good, by the way. We need.
We should hire her.
We need a streaming
Can you
channel.
help our failing show?
Oh, wait.
Our show. We get more and more listeners every week, but sometimes I just feel like we're failing. We need help. All right, so I know, Paula, you guys were talking about developing new talent.
Yes.
I know you hate it when friends call and go, "Hey, I know we're friends. I don't want to ask a favor of you, but I think we have someone for you."
All right.
I know that this guy's name is Adriano Lufskanski. They call him the Polish Pounder.
Not Polish Power, Polish Pounder.
The Polish Pounder.
Okay.
And his famous move is the Krakow Crunch. I've never met him before. Please
turn
welcome
around.
Adriano Lufskanski.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
This is the meat smell.
Yeah.
This is where it comes
I'm really
from.
hoping that's a sausage.
Well, at one time
I don't think he's going to pound anything.
Okay, let me. Hey, stop throwing pierogies at our guest. So the Polish Pounder's wearing a necklace of kielbasa.
Yes.
And he's got, I think he has one in his pants. Why are you wearing my belt? Take my belt off.
Well, I love a Poland. I'm the champion of Poland. It's good to have a spot,
Okay, let me ask you a question.
He smells so
Polish
bad.
Pounder.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, this is your one shot because you have the royalty of
I do.
WWE in the room.
Yes.
So you don't want to mess this up.
I feel like this could be the new talent they're looking for right here.
Okay, so
Let me show you.
The worst accent
I know.
What do you say? Take a pierogi.
He is throwing pierogies at Triple H.
I just got a drive-by pierogi.
Are you stupid? Don't
But at least he's not hitting you with his sausage, honey.
You whack me in the head with that sausage, it's going to be a different outcome.
You would watch it. I put you in my paw lock. That's my move.
Wow.
Okay, so
Wow.
stop throwing frozen Mrs. T's pierogies at me.
I know, they're cold.
But these pierogies are still frozen.
They thawed out a little bit. I had to thaw them.
So they're cold and wet.
Okay, so without further
do.
demonstration.
Yes.
So when you see possible new talent, Paul, Triple H is here to
I'll
give
let
us...
you know if I see any.
Stephanie, any fun? Okay, maybe not this round, but maybe you have some suggestions for the Polish Pounder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chodź tutaj.
Yeah, first of all, you can't come in and out of the gimmick. So a minute ago, you were just a straight-up New Yorker. You got to, stay in character.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know when he wants and when he doesn't want.
See, you're doing it now. You're doing.
Chico brunch.
There
Chico
you go.
brunch.
Okay. Listen to the advice here. Okay, stay in character. All right.
I honestly, I don't know if it's the underwear that he took ample time to write.
And the Polish flag.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's presenting his butt.
All right. Okay.
That was the surprise. That was
I
the
don't
bonus.
recall the eagle on the Polish flag or having a streak coming out of it.
Right.
It is what it is. I will say this, though. From a first-date character, this is phenomenal. At this moment right now, I would like to offer you a job with the WWE.
Wait.
Do you accept this job?
I do. I love a Poland. I love
Great.
a Poland.
That
I love
is
WWE.
phenomenal. You are fired. Get
Oh, my God.
Dude. Paul's suit was worth more than you make in a year. Stop it. Stop throwing pierogies at
I
me.
have the same underwear, too.
I was saying, I thought, oh my God, they're going to hire him away from us. Thank you, sweet Jesus.
I've never been hired and fired so fast.
Oh, yes, you have.
I think you
I will
can.
thank you, the Polish Pounder.
Yes.
By the way, starring this summer in Summer Sham.
I thank you very much.
That was very good, Elvis. Yes.
Thank you, and Triple H. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Get out of here. No,
Okay.
go.
Take a pierogi.
No, go. Get out of here.
Take a pierogi. They're not cooked.
Is the Polish Pounder wearing pantyhose tattoo sleeves?
Yes.
Yes.
He
Okay.
is.
Oh, that was good. Good observation. I missed that one.
Did he have a pierogi in his pants? Because if he did, then it's really sad.
I think it's a Vienna sausage.
Oh.
Anyway,
That's unfortunate.
I will say we are getting a ton of texts about Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His announcement the other night, Monday, was so moving. And you know what? It's another example of WWE, say what you want about this and that. It's another real life thing for us to hold on to. And what he's doing is just incredible. How is everyone in the organization talking about it?
I think it takes a remarkable amount of strength as a person to be able to say that. Roman has been dealing with this for a long time.
And do you want to just explain what happened?
Well, yeah, so
it's leukemia, right?
Yeah, Roman announcing that he's been battling leukemia for 11 years.
On Monday Night Raw, he came out of character, went out to the ring and said, look, I've been playing this character, but I haven't been genuine and authentic with you. My real name is Joe, and I've been battling with this for 11 years. And he then talked about having leukemia.
Yeah, and this is something that he and I, very few people know about this. He and I have spoken about it. This is something that he did not want to put out there until he had reached a certain point in time in his career, because he didn't want people to feel like he was being, pitied or given things for a certain reason. He wanted to be able to come out at the end and say, look, I dealt with this the whole time. You can do anything. This is not an end sentence, and as we talked about on Monday, he and I, life's what happens when you're busy making plans. The rest of the stuff happens, and it didn't work out the way he thought it would. Here it is back, but he realized now was the time to spread that message and tell people that. And he's going to fight this, and he's going to win. And he'll be back, and he'll be stronger than ever. And, I think it's just a matter of time. But he's an incredibly strong human being, and I have so much respect for him for just – that's a very private thing, right? To be able to come out when your image and what you do and everything about you is tough and everything else, to come out and go, look, I'm flawed, I'm fragile, I have this problem and all these things. It's a really difficult thing, and to be able to stand up, not for yourself and say that, but for others.
But for
that example,
several points here. Number one, the bravery. Look, to come out in character, I'm assuming is much easier than coming out and being totally brutally honest as you.
Definitely.
And secondly, it said, don't get mad at me for like gushing over you guys, but it's another reason why an organization like WWE, a family like WWE, is quite a beacon of, wow, we should all strive in our families. Like, for instance, for our show, we should all want to and strive to have a family unit like that.
Yeah.
And
Can I just say, though, Elvis, you
Seriously.
do. I mean, you create that here, and everything. I just wanted to say thank you for everything you do for pediatric cancer research. As you know, that's a cause that's near and dear to my heart.
Right.
And as it relates to Roman, one of the things that we did as a part of September, which is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, we had this whole campaign, Superstars of Tomorrow, where we visit children's hospitals, and these kids dress up in their favorite superstar persona, or their own original superstar persona.
Right.
And our superstars come, and we actually introduce them, and it's awesome. And then we did integrations in Monday Night Raw. And in Dallas in particular, we had this incredible group of kids that we really bonded with, and they created a video for Roman that I just watched, and it's so powerful. And it's these little kids that are saying, "We believe in you, Roman," and keep fighting. And it's just that's what life should really be all about, is supporting one another and loving one another, because we all have enough crap to deal with, in our regular lives, and it's just it's a privilege to be a part of.
You know what? Isn't it kind of surprising how you set out to do one thing in life? Okay, we'll just start this little thing called the WWE. Yeah. Then one day you wake up and go, wow, I never dreamed in a million years it would be this. And this is fan-friggin-tastic. Yeah. This is great. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And having fun doing it the whole
time.
Right.
Yes, that's true.
Doing all of that, it's all can be so meaningful, but yet just doing it the whole time is just so much fun. If people
I get
sometimes
it.
get
and
too serious about it.
And I got a John Cena chair there.
Yeah, you did. And we have the greatest fans in the world. I mean, the most passionate, most amazing vocal fans in the world. Our superstars are incredible. All of our employees. I mean, it is a team, and that's why we call it the WWE Universe, because it's all of us together. It's this big, inclusive, giant family.
This is awesome.
I love it.
By the way, we got a text a few minutes ago, someone who met you in Iraq, Paul. They said Triple H came to see us.
Hey.
Yeah, we used to.
They don't forget.
They don't let us go there now, but like we used to go to Iraq, Afghanistan, just all these forward operating bases. We do a show every year called Tribute to the Troops.
Right.
Very big supporters of military and first responders and all of that. And we used to go there live. I see a lot of people that are back here now. A lot of, former troops that were there that will come up to us and say, well, you guys came to our forward operating base.
It means
in the middle
everything.
of nowhere. There were 20 guys there, and we were getting shot at every day, and you guys showed up, and it was the craziest part of my whole trip. Thank you.
Wow.
When you get into this business, you never think this is what it's going to turn into,
Right.
and thank God it did turn into this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Wait, you had one more thing.
It was part of that. I just wanted to say
I'm
thank
glad.
you for everything you do for
thank you.
pediatric cancer research and all the time you're so consistent and again, just thank you.
Well, that's the best gift. What you just said. Thank you. I mean, the second best gift was that belt I got that time.
Yep.
Well, it
Thank
was,
you,
but then
filed.
the
now
pierogi
we
guy
got to get you a
came
new one,
out.
Elvis.
Pierogi guy.
Yeah, the Polish pounder is going to.
I don't know. You want to put that back on?
You should at least disinfect it.
Yeah. I'm with you.
We're going to boil it.
Yeah.
All right. well,
Sausage and pierogi smell.
Look, you know what? Triple H, Paul, Stephanie McMahon, thank you so much for coming in today. Evolution. It's so important you support because it's more than just turning it on and watching a bunch of entertaining, strong women do their thing. There's a message here. It's a message to the world. It's very loud. The whole world is going to be watching on the WWE network on Sunday. And don't forget, it's also about Girl Up. I'm so happy that you guys announced that on our show today. That's
Us too.
incredible. All
yes,
right.
thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you, everyone, for having us.
All right, Paul, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon.